Today we shall see the one more important topic, that is JSP page translation request processing phase. Okay, good. Thank you. Actually, it is useful for drawing the diagrams and figures only. Thank you. Okay, guys. So is it connected? Yes, connected now. So every JSP page is participated into two phases. Okay, what are those? Every JSP page participates, as per yesterday's discussions, participates in the two phases, in the following two phases. What are those two phases? First is translation phase and second is request processing phase. So translation phase and second is what? Request processing phase. So let me explain these 2 points pictorially. REQUEST, request processing phase. Okay, what is the meaning of translation phase, guys? So converting your JSP equivalent to the Servlet program is called as translation, because you are converting JSP program which contain a presentation logic as well as business logic. So that same JSP file is gets converted into its equivalent Servlet program of .java. Again, .java file will get converted into .class file if it does not have any syntactical error. That whole process is called as page translation. Okay, don't worry, I'll give the notes, but just understand first. So here, let me add the point: converting uh, JSP file to JSP equivalent Servlet program, or you can call .java to .class. Okay, .java to .class. Here I'm not writing both. So you'll come to know Servlet. Once you get Servlet.java file, underscore abc.java will be converted into underscore abc.class in the case of WebLogic. Right? Right? Now, what about request processing phase? Okay. Who will trap your request? Who will track your request in the JSP in the Servlet? Lifecycle method. Which one? Init method or destroy method or service method? Service method, na? So request processing phase will be executed by underscore JSP service method. So executing, and let me add executing underscore JSP service method. Executing underscore JSP or calling of JSP program. Equivalent Servlet program. Word wrap. Okay. Fine. Let me prove this pictorially. Yesterday itself we have seen, not only yesterday, in previous classes also we have seen how your request processing and translation phase happens. But if someone asks the interview question, how do you describe? You should know the note points. So let me go to the paint, and here, suppose take an example. This is your JSP program. Okay, this is JSP file. Or I need to draw a rectangle. This is your JSP file. Okay, or directly instead of calling directly JSP file. First, request will pass from browser window. So this is a browser window. Then browser window will give the request to the JSP program. JSP program will trap that request, and next it begins your conversion of your Java JSP program to Java program. Java Servlet JSP equivalent Servlet program. JSP equivalent Servlet program will get converted into .class file. Okay. Then .class file will send its response back to again browser window. So let me add the annotations or the labels to here. Let me use some different colors so that and increase the font. So this is your browser window. Okay. We increase the font. This is a browser window. Okay. Now from the browser window, generally what we do, we send the request to the appropriate web resource program. Right? So here is my web resource program is what? abc.jsp. Okay. So I'm using abc.jsp. Control A. So let me increase the font again. Each time increasing fonts create critical. So although let me write all at once here. This is my abc.jsp. Okay. And here my abc.jsp will get converted into abc underscore jsp.java. In the case of Tomcat, in the case of Tomcat, this is in the case of Tomcat, okay. Whereas in the case of WebLogic, huh? बरोबर आहे. मेटा फोल्डर पण काय करतो and then let me add here. Actually, I'm not able to fit this content in a lower font. So you can write, guys, here is my abc.jsp. This is in the case of what? हे कशामध्ये आहे actually? So this is in the case of Tomcat. Okay. Or if you convert same file into where? WebLogic. WebLogic मध्ये काय येईल सांगा? What will be the file name in WebLogic? We have seen yesterday. Tell me. Underscore 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 abc dot java, right? So this is in the case of what? WebLogic. So here is my WebLogic. Okay. This is dot class file. In the case of Tomcat. In the case of Tomcat. And here also, even though you can write the names for underscore underscore dot class file, underscore underscore abc dot class file. In which server? In which server? Which application server? Tell me. WebLogic. Okay. Fine, guys. But actually, I should write this name. Okay. थोड़ा सा मैं गड़बड़ करतो इथे. I'm making mistake here while adding names. So actually, okay, fine. नंतर लिहितो मी. Fine. Fine. So let me add here one more. abc.jsp in the case of Tomcat. abc.jsp in the case of Tomcat, or underscore underscore abc.class in the case of WebLogic. So actually, I wish to add here one more file, one more tag. What is the tag? So once the request will be arrived, which method will it get execute? Underscore underscore JSP. Tell me, service method. Service method will get executed. What is the logic you wrote in this method? That method logic will be executed here. Okay, fine. So this is a request processing logic. Let me add here request processing logic. Right? Right? So guys, let me add the arrows so that you will come to know the flow of execution. So this is abc.jsp gets converted into appropriate .java file. .java file gets converted into .class file, and .class file contains underscore underscore JSP underscore service method, which is responsible to trap the request, execute all the business logic which has been mentioned in the underscore underscore JSP service method, and that same response will be sent back to again browser window. Okay. So let me add here. This is your JSP program. This is your JSP program. This is what? JSP equivalent. JSP equivalent. Servlet. JSP equivalent Servlet. Servlet program. Source file. Next, what is this? JSP equivalent Servlet program. compile the file, compile the file. Fine. And finally, response. This whole response will be tracked. Will be trapped. What the response has been generated by JSP underscore service method will be again sent back to your browser window. Right? Right or wrong? Fine, guys. Okay, let me save this and you can add the note point here. You can add one more note point. This is called as translation phase. Translation phase. Okay, guys, fine. So let me increase the font, and this is more than enough. So I'll cut this part and I'll keep it here. Okay. This translation phase from where? From, I would rather call here, up to here. This is your translation phase. Okay. From .jsp program to, let me add the arrows. So from here to up to generation of .class file. This is your translation phase. Request processing phase. So this is your request processing phase. Right? Chalo, let me save and let me close this file. So day 11, not day 11, day 14. JSP page translation and request processing. Control C, PNG, close. So I have the figure called. Okay, guys, let me add the note point based on this figure. So the given request, the request given to JSP program directly participates in request processing phase if the source code of a JSP program, that is a JSP equivalent servlet.java file and .class file, do exist into your container. So the request given to the JSP program directly participate in request processing phase if the source code of JSP program is not modified compared to the previous request. We shall see this practically. Previous requester, and if .class file of JSP equivalent Servlet is available. Otherwise the request given to JSP participates in both JSP page translation and request processing phase. Guys, did you clear about this point? What happens? Suppose I have created my JSP program, right? I created my JSP program. First time I give the request. Okay. it will check whether the .java file exists, .class file exists. If it not exists, it will go into its page translation phase, means creating its appropriate JSP equivalent solid program .java file and convert into .class file, and then underscore JSP service method will be executed. What is the code you written in JSP underscore service method will be processed, and the whole response will be sent back to browser. But meanwhile, in the middle of my work, my first request is processed, but while before processing second request, what I did, I have .java program, JSP solid program I do have. If I modify that one, what will happen? Can I modify? Question is there. Can I modify? I have .solid .java file na. Can I modify? So if you modify, what will happen? Again it will pay, again it will check if it is modified based on the time and scheduling. It will check the time when it was modified earlier, when it was compiled previous based on the log history. If you modify externally, no, it doesn't allow you to modify. Even if you modify externally, what the JSP page will do? JSP page again will go into same process. Page translation, it will create a new JSP. It will create a new JSP equivalent, solid equivalent JSP program. Sorry, uh, solid JSP equivalent solid program .java file, and your old .java file will be overwritten. We shall see this practically. आपण practically बघूया the pointer. Okay. So let me add the next point. So every server, I'll put this point. Every server, let me note this point first. Every server resolves current request related source code of JSP program until next request comes to that JSP program and compares both source code by using wdiff, that is difference, web difference, and this wdiff is a tool for WebLogic and ARAXIS for Tomcat. Okay. Now we shall see practically. If I modify my JSP equivalent solid.java file, what will happen? Did you clear my query? So let me go to my Tomcat. So where is my Tomcat? Yes, it's my Tomcat. So I'll open any one program. Where is my program? This is my JSP app. Okay, I do have JSP app. So let's see the source code. Nothing else. No special. web.inf, web.xml. That's it. Right now, right? And I'm going to the bin. Let's move to bin and then click on Tomcat 10. So I'm starting my Tomcat server. Let it start. Meanwhile, let me give the request to my manager. So localhost. So can you see here? I deployed the same application, right? Or different? Which one I opened? Yes, JSP. You can see the title bar. JSP app, web.inf, web.xml. And this is my abc.jsp. In web apps, abc JSP, right? Okay. Now, where does my JSP current solid program resides? So this is the folder. Okay. This is the folder. Fine. I'll delete this first step. Delete. Now, let me keep both the points. Let me keep both the windows parallelly so that you will get the idea. And I will try to modify again meanwhile. Okay. Fine. And let me use this browser window. Okay, fine. I'm hitting once again. Created. Fine. This is page translation and request processing. Now I'm opening. I'm going to where welcome to JSP. Instead of welcome to JSP, I'm adding CSMSS. Okay. Chhatrapati Shahu College of Engineering. Will this reflect to my request processing? Will this get compiled or not? Did you clear? Look, this is my abc.jsp. Now it's equivalent abc underscore JSP. I modified. Will this reflect or not? Will this reflect or not? Tell me. Huh? Sanga. Will this reflect? Yes or no? Miss, I have saved. So just save the file. Reflect or not? Huh? Saved, minimize. I'm refreshing once again. Okay, do I refresh? Huh? Do I release the cursor? Release? Okay, again I'm refreshing. Still I'm getting the date and time. But why the changes has been made externally are not reflecting to my request processing phase? Okay. What I'll do, I'll open the same file. It has same content. Does it modify dot class file? Okay, if I modify dot class file externally, मतलब DJ decompile properly work करत नहीं है. Otherwise, I would have modified dot class file. I would have saved was in dot class file itself, and then we would have tried. I don't know what the issue with my decompiler presently. It is not opening. Or there might be some issue with my machine not allowing it to open. Okay, is it clear? Huh? Because it needs to be get compiled automatically. Huh, but you can try by yourself. If a DJ decompiler works, try to modify, save it as a dot class file as it is, and just run. Let's see what happens. Okay, is it clear? So let me add that node point. This point is clear, guys. Is clear? When let me add the node point one more. When .java file of JSP equivalent solid file is deleted, the JSP program okay, I'm deleting this file. abc.jsp. So abc underscore JSP, let me close this file and let me delete this one. Deleted. Let me give the request. Let me keep both the parallelly. This and browser window and the folder parallelly. So I'm giving once more request. Is it creating .java file? Is it creating .java file? I'm refreshing again and again. Is it creating? Okay. Once you delete .class file, it will again process into translation phase. Means .jsp file will get converted into JSP equivalent solid program. JSP equivalent solid program will get converted into .class file. That is abc underscore JSP dot class. This is in the case of Tomcat, but whereas in the case of file name will change in the case of WebLogic. Clear? Clear? समझा लेगा? Okay? बोतरा बात रोहित समझा लेगा? चलो. So this is about page translation, and then we shall see about next topic. Is it clear, all of you? Let me add. What is the advantage of enabling load on startup on JSP program? On JSP program. So this point we have already seen in Servlet. So today also we shall see. Let me delete this abc.jsp. Look at here. I'm deleting a. Okay, leave it. I'll show you practically once again. Control